This is Rebecca at Keystone RV Center. Today I'm going to do another customer orientation on here. They were not able to make it here for their orientation, so this is the other option that we would have. So if you're ready to learn about how to use a Flagstaff 2024 301 RK, then keep watching. All right, so the first thing we did was, of course, we parked it. And then as soon as it got put here, I went ahead and plugged it in. It's on the back into my 30 amp adapter. We only have 30 amps on the building, so that's what that is. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to turn on your auto level system. We're doing this before we pull any slides out, before we put the steps down, anything like that, mainly because the slide rooms should be in when you're doing this. So I just turned it on and I'm going to hit auto level. There it goes. It's going to tell you to remain still. That's for anyone that might be walking around, I guess, but there it goes. You're going to hear it. It takes a couple of minutes for that to get done. So right now it's adjusting the front. Over here on the wall, next to your leveling system, it gives you the instructions on how to get it on and off your truck. There's also some other things on here that you would be able to do. And later on in the video, when we go to put this away, I'll show you how to pull your auto level up. You can always do things manually. Usually that red light that you see, usually it'll be on whichever side is unlevel. So it'll work on that until the whole thing's leveled. Just above that is your canister for your filter. Right now this is winterized. It's super cold today, so it's good that we winterized it. But that's antifreeze. So when you de-winterize this, you're going to want to dump that out. Just be careful when you unscrew that. You have the wrench to do it. When you do, it's going to be a big mess. So throw some towels down before you unscrew that. All right. So right here is all of your water stuff. So you've got an outside shower here, and here's the hose for that. It's just a quick connect on the end of it. Really easy to put on. And here you're going to tell the system how you're going to use it. So you've got your dry camping power fill tank. That's for your freshwater tank. City water, which is where you'll be most of the time, I would think. Then of course winterization and siphon to sanitize your fresh tank. The pictures that you see, that's the position these are going to be in. So city water, you're going to have the white down, blue over, green over, red up. So dry camping, what you're going to want to do for dry camping if you don't have water hookup is you're going to want to power fill the tank first, and then you're going to tell it that now I'm camping. So fill and to use. That's what that comes down to. The reason you would want to siphon to sanitize your tank is exactly that. You would be sanitizing your fresh tank, and I would do that before you ever used it. If you guys are going to be on city water, you don't necessarily have to do anything there, but from time to time your fresh tank might get a funny smell to it, and it'll just be because you need to sanitize it. They do have actual tank sanitizer. All right, this thing's beeping at me because it ran out of stroke. So it says push enter to acknowledge. So there's that. All right, so it's just letting me know that on the right, we ran out of leg, basically, for the leveling system. No big deal. If that happens, you can always throw some blocks underneath that one. That way it'll level for you better. Or you can reposition it. All right, that's what that's about. All right, so back to your water stuff. Here is your city water. It says it on there. City water, you're just going to pull that off. You're going to connect your drinking water hose to this. Screw this onto the end of it, and make sure that you're always using a water regulator. You can use it here at this end or at the spigot where you're getting your water from. Either way, it doesn't really matter which end you put it on, but always use it no matter what. You're trusting someone else's plumbing, so always use that regulator. If the pressure is too high, it could do a whole lot of damage to your pipes, okay? This here is your black tank flush. So your bathroom, the toilet that you have in there, of course, that's going to be where you drop in your toilet treatment and all that to the black tank. This cleans out the black tank. So when, again, just like your city well, pull that off, hook a hose to this. This you can use a garden hose on, but screw this onto the end of your hose and turn the water on. It's going to spray out your black tank to keep it clean. Now, the one thing that people always forget is to leave the black valve open when you're using the black tank flush. The black tank, it does build a lot of pressure when you're spraying out the black tank with that, and it could potentially shoot out the vent on your roof, or it could come out of your toilet and all over your floor, and nobody wants that. Don't be scared to use it, but leave the valve open when you are using it. The last thing here is this here. I don't want to turn it on because we're winterized, but this is your water pump. You can turn it on from here or inside, either way. The pump is, the only two times you need your pump is going to be when you winterize, or if you're using your fresh tank and you want to pump the water to the faucet that you've turned on inside. It's on demand, so it comes on and off as you turn the faucet on and off. And the last thing here, I guess, is your satellite and cable. If you're going to get satellite or cable, that's going to be where you hook up at. Everything can be brought up from right here. So this pops off, and you can bring all your hoses and all that up through there. All right, moving on. This is a best place to stand right now because it's so cold. But this is your exhaust for your furnace. I do recommend getting a screen for right there just to keep the bugs out. They just hook on, and you don't have to worry about it anymore once you put that on, as long as it's put on right. And you have a suburban furnace, so that's what you would be shopping for, an insect screen for a suburban furnace. All right, up here, you've got two ways to fill your fresh tank. You can do it from over there where all your other water stuff is, but right here is probably going to be the easiest. So you could just unscrew this, put your hose in, and fill her up. Whenever water starts coming out of this little screened in area right there, you're full. All right, and then you've got a light here just on the bottom is how you turn that on and off. All right, so down here, that is where your black and gray tank is. So you got your black handle and your gray handle. Hook your sewer hose up there, pull your black first, rinse the sewer hose out with the gray. Please just remember, every single time you dump your black tank, you're also dumping toilet treatment. Make sure that you're going back inside and dropping another treatment in each time you dump your tank. Again, leave that black valve open if you're going to use your black tank flush. Please do not leave these valves open if you're hooked to sewer. Just thinking, if you leave the valves open when you're hooked to sewer, the sewer gases can make their way in, and it's going to smell really bad in your camper. So you can go ahead and hook to sewer, just leave the valve shut until it's time to dump. And I'll show you inside where that's done at. And then beside that white handle right there, that is the dump for your fresh tank. It's a pretty big opening. A full fresh tank takes about 3 minutes to drain, which is really fast. So we love those things. Okay, so moving around. Your tires are Goodyear Endurance tires, and they have a sensor in each one. That's what that tab on there from the tire cap is. Just letting you know there's a sensor. Inside you have the screen to tell you how inflated your tires are and the temperature of them. And of course you've got your storage up here, or back here. You've got storage here and there. That is your actual cord. I am using a cord that we just kind of keep out here. And your doors are held open by a magnet, which is nice. The clips are terrible. Your sewer hose can be stored in there. course, this is where you plug in at back here on the corner. You got your ladder so that you can do the maintenance on the roof that is needed. The maintenance on the roof, you're going to, number one, keep it clean. A soft bristle brush and a hose. You can use Dawn dish soap, or you can use Dicor makes a cleaner for your roof if you want to do it that way. But it's going to really help keep those black streaks off of your camper if you can keep it clean. The biggest thing you're doing up there is checking all your seals. So on the top, every place they cut a hole, they use Dicor's self-leveling sealant. The sealant itself needs to stay soft. So you get up there, you feel around. If you have any places that are cracked, if there are any bubbles, if it feels hard, you're going to want to get that off of there and replace it with new. The manufacturer says to do that every 3 months, to at least be checking it every 3 months. So that's what I'm going to tell you to do. But most people do it at the beginning of their camping season and then again at the end. All right, because there's also maintenance that has to be done on the slide outs, which I'm going to go over as soon as we get around there. But the slide outs should be done every 3 months as well. So I just tell people, get up there on the roof, do what you need to do, and then come down and do your slides. Just make an afternoon of it. Back here, you have a receiver that can do, I believe this is 300 pounds. So if you want to put a bike rack back here, you could. All right, here you have your outside shower. The sun's shining right in my eye. You have 2 outside showers, so this one and then the one over where all your water stuff is. Same hose goes to both. So it's nice having an outside shower, especially if you're at the beach. This is your water heater. Undo that, pull that down. All right, so right now, we don't have, of course, any water in there. We have bypassed the water heater so that we could winterize this. And you bypass it on the back side. So the best thing I can tell you as far as how to bypass it, right now there are 2 valves that are turned crossways across your lines. When you de-winterize, you're going to turn those valves to go in line with the lines. It's going to go parallel with them. That's the best way I can describe that. Here you have your relief valve. This is a reset, so if you don't have hot water, but you should, come out here and check this. And if these 2 things are bubbled out, you're just going to push them back in to reset it. And then this here is an anode rod. So a lot of water heaters have this rod. All the impurities in the water will eat away at that rod instead of your water heater. Please don't mistake this for your heating element. It is not. So you're going to put it in here. It's your plug. So you're going to put it in there. Make sure you get it in there nice and tight. These usually need to be replaced about once a year on average. Definitely make sure you're checking it. It's not a bad idea to get it's a sprayer that you can get for the inside of your water heater, just because you're going to get some sediment. Like right here, there's a little bit there just from when this was in there. So stuff like that's going to settle on the bottom of your water heater. It's not a bad idea to rinse that out every now and again. That way there isn't a lot of buildup. Okay? All right, so I'm going to put this back on. All right. Really? I might have to come back to this. Oh, no, we got it. Okay, there we go. Sorry, trying to do this one-handed is not the easiest thing today. Here you have the bar that your griddle, and there's this little side table that comes with it. It just hooks right onto that. And then down below is your LP Quick Connect, which you also have an LP hose that goes with your griddle that goes there. So, and it's connected to your propane up front. Here, this hole here is going to go to your slide out on the other side. You're probably not going to be able to see it in there, but there's a nut in there that you have the tool in your pass-through that you can override the slide on the other side if the motor were to fail. You just can crank it in, or out, whichever way it needs to go. It's a lot easier than you would think it is. You don't have to have any special tool to do that. Just the hand crank that they give you up front will do it. Right next to that is for your spare tire. So you also have the tool to drop that down as well. All right. Here you just have your storage, just another storage place. All right, here you have your handrail. Now, I already took the pin out, but this pin was in here. I took it out just to make this easier. But you pull this out, that should come out, and you pull. If by chance you go to do that and it doesn't come out, you can just grab this back here and push. All right, this here is just a magnet to hold it in place for travel. This doesn't do anything other than hold that in place when you have it in the position for travel. All right, we're gonna go inside here in just a minute. I can't wait, it's cold. There's your griddle. All right, and beside that is the side table goes with it. This is the stand that you can screw onto the bottom of this griddle to hang on that back there. The rail on the outside here that I just showed you. This here is cable for outside, and then here, that little button right there, you see the green light and the black button? That is for your antenna. Your antenna will pick up quite a few stations on your TV all by itself. Usually sitting here, we can normally pick up 10 to 15 channels if that's on. If you have part cable or satellite or anything else, make sure that that's off, because that overrides cable every time. All right, there's your tool for your spare tire. And then over here, we have your propane. So you got two propane tanks. You got this one here, and you got one over on the other side as well. Up here is going to be there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a valve here. You're going to turn it one way to draw off of one tank, and then you can turn it over this way to draw off of this tank. Whenever the one it's pointing at, whenever this turns red, you're out of propane, or these have been turned off for a while and there's no pressure behind it, so it's going to turn red. As soon as you turn it on, it'll flip to green again if that's the case. All right. Okay. And you've got a little light up front here. Right there is going to be how you turn that on and off. And inside here, you've got an Interstate battery. It holds a 1-year warranty on it through Interstate. It's in this box here. Please, every now and again, unscrew the box and check the water level in the batteries. There are 2 caps on top of the battery. Just, you can pop those right off and look. If you don't see water, then grab some distilled water and pour it in there. You can add another battery. So there's plenty of room in that box for another battery if that's what you choose to do. Right there is your battery disconnect. I have it turned on right now because we're plugged in and I want your battery to take a charge. As long as you're plugged in, your battery's being charged if this is on. So if this is going into storage and you're not going to use it for a while, I would definitely turn this off if you're not going to have it plugged in wherever you're storing it at. This is your inverter right above it. That's going to help run things if you were to lose power. It's going to help mainly the refrigerator and a couple of outlets. And this here is your auto level. The fuses that are on there, it's never a bad idea to get some extra fuses for it. And also, please remember that this is where it's at, because if your auto level acts a little squirrely and wants to level this in an odd way, it could be because somehow that came unscrewed and now the level that's in there is reading it how it is. So if it's unscrewed and hanging lopsided, that's how it's going to level. So just, like I said, if it is acting funny, just come out here and check and make sure that that's screwed up. All right. I think the only other thing we have out here is if you choose to get more solar, you have solar on the roof already. I believe you have 2 panels up there, but if you choose to get another one, that's what this is for. It's for portable, like a briefcase style solar panel. And then this here, it says docking lights. That is for the front cap. You make sure for travel purposes that this is off. Not only will it blind you shining into your back window at night, it also get you pulled over. Okay, so that's it on the outside. Now we're going in. Shut these doors. All right, so here's your door. All right, open your door all the way before you pull the steps down. This here will catch the side of your door if it's not opened all the way. So I'm gonna pull these steps down. This is on a spring, so you don't really need any real muscle to put these up into the door or to pull them down. It might try and get away from you when you're putting it up because of that spring, but you don't have to be strong to do this. One of the things that you might notice is your feet up there, I have them drop down. The reason we do that is because when we pull the steps out, we want these stairs to hang before the legs touch the ground. So I'm pulling this down. Again, one hand, I'm sorry. All right, like that. And then these are hanging. They're not touching the ground. Right here, you're just gonna push that in and the feet drop. Okay, and make sure they're locked in place. Okay, do the same thing on the other side. All right, and then that's it. The reason we want them to hang and then drop the feet is because right here, we want this to be even with this. If it's pulled away from it at all, so if I pull these stairs up, you're gonna see it's away from that. What'll happen is your door won't shut right. You'll have to slam it shut, and then over time, you could potentially bend the bottom of the door if that keeps happening over and over again. So just let it drop and then drop the feet. All right, now we're going in. My hand is frozen. Okay, here we go. Now, this is a good place to be able to see all of your slides in. You can still move around in here when the slide outs are in. That's your closet slide. Of course, your beautiful bed. Your bedroom's so nice. And then down here, you have your living area, and that slides in. So you can still get to everything. You can get to your refrigerator, your stove, all that. So that's nice. It's really nice to be able to do that without opening the slides. Up here is your monitor panel. We're going to go ahead and pull your slides out. So just push and hold. Now the slide's going out. Always make sure there's room on the other side before you pull the slide out. You don't want to hit any trees or a building or anything like that. It's going to make a clicking noise when it's all the way out. That lets you know it's all the way out. It's okay to hear that. Okay? It's going to make that same noise when it's all the way in. All right, so now, I don't know if we're going to be able to see this one, your bedroom's closet slide. I'll push that one. It's a different slide out mechanism. It's not the same slide out as the one in your living room. That's why it sounds different. So I don't know if you heard that hesitation and then the last wind down. You want to hear that, so you keep holding on to this until you hear it make that final wind down sound. Same way when it comes in. Okay, so now that the slides are out, you have a whole lot more room. What a difference a slide makes, huh? All right, this is such a pretty camper. I love a rear kitchen. It's so nice. All right, so just moving around here. Of course, here's your TV. Down below is your fireplace. The fireplace is a really nice space heater. It's really nice to have on, especially, spring or early fall. It just helps to knock the chill out of the air without using your propane for the furnace. Your furnace is what will use the most amount of propane. So anytime you can help that, do that. So this is electric only, and it's only a space heater. This does nothing for your underbelly. So your underbelly is heated when your furnace is running, but this isn't going to help your underbelly at all. But it's so nice to have. Over here, we have your power tower. So push that, and it comes up. Come on, there we go. Comes up, and then you've got a USB and a C port here. And then when it's down all the way, that is a wireless charger. So you could just lay your phone on top and charge your phone. You've got your microwave here. It's pretty nice. It's big. It's got a nice big microwave. It's just a normal microwave. There's really nothing special about it, but it's a full-size microwave, which is nice. You got your 3-top burner here. Here you've got switches to turn those little blue lights on and off. And then here you have another switch, and that's for your oven. With this, you're just going to push it in and hold, and it fires up. Push it in and hold. And there you go. Always make sure you're turning your fan on when you're cooking. You want to get the steam out of here. Just no moisture in the camper. Whatever you can help, do turn that fan on. You also have a light up here for your stovetop. All right. Your oven. Your oven, it's kind of hard to see when you light the pilot light, but you can see it. It's covered really well here. But back here, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on this video, but if you see, the pilot light is lit now. Let go and turn it on temperature. And now it's fired up. So I'm going to do that again up here so you can see what I did. So you're going to push it in and hold it. Picture to the flame to the dot right there. The pilot light's lit. Let go. Turn on temperature. You got to do it kind of quick or else that pilot light's going to go out. One thing to remember here is these are notorious for burning things. So keep an eye on it. Maybe reduce the temperature if you need to. Do some trial runs. Don't try to make dinner first thing in there. But once you get the hang of it, you got it. I cook with propane at home, and I really love it because when you turn on the flame, you've got your heat. When you turn it off, it's off. It doesn't continue cooking like it does on electric. So there's that. It's a nice size oven for a camper. It really is. Usually they're not quite that big. You have another power tower there with the wireless charger on top. And here, this thing here, a lot of people are using this now to drain their dishes, but the original intention for this was for a hot pan. So if you were cooking here and you had a hot pan, instead of putting it on your countertop, you put it on this. That way you don't ruin the countertop. If you noticed, all the shades in the kitchen here are metal. The metal shades have to stay metal because of fire code. So if you were to change these out to anything else and you had a fire in here, you probably would not get covered because you changed these out. So just leave them metal. I know a lot of people don't like the metal shades, but in this case, you kind of have to have them. Hanging here, you have your keys, and you only have 2 keys because this is 2 sets of keys. All of your locks are with 1 key. So your door, your storage, all of it is on 1 key. So there's that. When we're done today, I will text you and let you know where I put the keys. All right. You have another third power tower here. So your kitchen definitely has a lot of outlets, which is unusual. A lot of people, that's what they complain about the most is lack of outlets. So here, you've got soft close drawers. So when you first open it, it's going to give you a little resistance, but that's because they're soft close. So if somebody's slamming these shut, it's on purpose. All right, just so you know. Here you have your trash can. There's that. All right, so here's your refrigerator. This refrigerator is a 12-volt refrigerator. So if you were to lose power, it will run on the battery. The battery's going to run the inverter that will run this. It's kind of a trickle down effect. So keep that in mind. If you lose power, you're probably going to get about 2, maybe at the most 3 days out of your battery because of the refrigerator. Right here is your travel lock. So you can undo it there and then open it. Right there is going to be how you make it as cold as you want, from colder to coldest. If you happen to lose power and you're there when it happens, try to turn this down to like 2. That way it uses the least amount of power from your battery, but still keeps everything cold in your fridge. Right here is how you're going to turn on and off your refrigerator. You're going to push and hold for 10 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that off now. Seems longer than 10 seconds, doesn't it? There it goes. Right, and then that's it. If you're done using the refrigerator for the season and you're packing everything away, you can use that travel lock to prop open your freezer and refrigerator so it doesn't get moldy and mildewy. And now it's propped open. So there's that. We love that idea too. So I'm going to close it the right way now. All right. Over here, we've got your dinette, U-shaped dinette, and of course that table drops down and makes a bed. And for travel purposes, that needs to be dropped down in the bed position. It's a freestanding table, so if you don't put it down when you travel, this is going to fly around all over the place. So I'll make sure that that's folded down for you when I'm done here. I'll go ahead and put it down. You got a pretty good sized drawer here. There's that one. This one. All right. This is your couch, and it's a tri-fold sofa sleeper. So this tri-folds all the way out to make a bed, and 2 adults can sleep on it. It's not too bad. It's pretty comfortable. Here we have another outlet that is invertered. So if you were to lose power, this is one of the outlets that would work on your battery. All right, up here I have this notebook, which is so nice. I wish all of them did this, but this notebook has everything in it about your appliances. It has stuff in there about warranty. It has an owner's manual in there. On the very last part of it, though, is probably the most important in my opinion anyway. Let's see. Well, that's not it. Here we go. So the last few pages here are going to be about your appliances. It has your serial number, model number, manufacturer, all that stuff. So if you needed to buy an extra part, say something went out on you and you need to order another one, you can get the exact part that is used in here. So there's no guessing. You don't have to start taking things apart to get to the serial number, nothing like that. You have it all in here, and we love that so much. It's so helpful. This here is your fire extinguisher. It's an ABC extinguisher. Hopefully you'll never need it, but if you did, it'll put out whatever fire might come up at a campground. And right beside that is your GFI outlet that's connected to most all of your outlets. So if things that are plugged in stop working, that's where you're going to check first. And then you're going to also check your breaker box, which I'll show you where that's at. The only thing left in here is your LP CO2 detector right here. Where that green light is, right above it, you can push and hold if this thing starts going off for whatever reason. If it's going off because you have a propane leak or if it's CO2 coming in, every time this goes off, please take it seriously. The propane you would smell, the CO you would not. So push and hold that button to turn it off. But I always tell people, leave your door open, go turn off your propane. Something might be wrong. But it might also be because of something that someone's done. So those things will go off if any aerosol spray sprays in the air. So, body spray, hairspray, Febreze, Lysol, anything like that will set that off. So if it goes off, stop and think about what someone just did. Chances are that's why it's going off. But again, always take it serious. All right, there's that. All right, so the brains of the operation is right here. So you have, this is a motion detector. So as soon as you walk past it, it comes on, it lights up for you. It tells you how full all your tanks are, digital, and how charged your battery is. And in this case, if it's lit up in blue, it's on. So these are all your lights labeled, which is very unusual. Most of the time, these aren't labeled at all. You have a connect button here. So that's your Bluetooth to this panel. You can download the app onto your phone, and you'd be able to have this monitor on your phone. You'd be able to turn lights on and off, pull your awning in and out. Everything that you can do on this monitor, you'd be able to do from your phone. You would have to be within Bluetooth range, of course, like 30 feet, I think it is. But, you know, you could be outside doing it if you wanted to. The app, I believe it's the One Control is the name of the app. And it will have a picture of a green pine tree and a little camper next to it. That's the app that you're going to install. All right, so then you have your water heater propane here and your water heater electric, water pump, and tank heater. The only two times you need your water pump are if you're going to use your fresh tank because you don't have city water hookup, or when you winterize. Those are the only two times you need that pump. Your tank heaters, each one of your holding tanks have a heat pad on them. Your fresh, your black, and your grays. With this, if you turn this on, that heat pad comes on and it's going to help to keep you from freezing up. There's no promise that you won't freeze up, but this is going to make it where your chances of freezing up are a little bit less if those are on. You have your awning extend and retract. The only reason I did not pull this awning out today is because of how windy it's been. Today has been, the wind gusts are pretty high. It's been that way for like a week now, so I get nervous pulling that awning out. If it's going to be windy outside, do not open that awning. Leave it closed. If it's going to rain, a storm, anything like that, just bring the awning in. Don't take any chances. If the weather happens to tear that awning off your camper, it's not going to be covered under warranty. It'll be an insurance claim or an out-of-pocket. And then slide 1 is your living room slide. Slide 2 is your bedroom slide. All right, so there's all of that. Here, you've got a remote for your Max Air fan in the kitchen. And let's see, I don't know how far you have to be from it. No, you got to be right under it, I think. Yep, there it goes. We love the Max Air fans, man. This thing will get the hot air out of here like you wouldn't believe. If you're in your kitchen cooking, if you want to just turn that on instead of the other fan, you certainly could. And this remote's got a lot of different settings on it. So you can have air come in, have air go out, whatever, and you can set a temperature even on it. So it's nice. This remote will also work on the Max Air fan in your bathroom, but you do have a separate remote for that one. But if you were to lose one of them, it's not a big deal. You can just use the other one. All right, put that there. This here is the switch for your ceiling fan. You can reverse that for, you know, in the winter, you can reverse it so it helps keep the heat in if you want. Let me turn that off. Up here is your solar controller. There's nothing for you to do here. The only time you even need to mess with this would be if you change off to a different type of battery. Right now it's set to flooded. Oh, it's going to be set to flooded because we have that wet battery on here. So if you decide you would like to change to a different battery, you can always go to the website to Go Power and look up your model number, and it will tell you what to do from there. And here you have your thermostat. You have, really you only have zone 1. So when it talks about zone for you guys, it's going to be zone 1. Zone 2, I don't think you have a zone 2 yet. No. Zone 2 would be reserved just for your bedroom if you had that second AC in the bedroom. Right now, you've just got a vent in over your bed. But if you were to get a second AC dropped in, that's where it would go. It would go in place of that. You already have the wiring and everything there to have a second AC put in. All right, so zone 1 is just going to be where you're at. So system, so you're going to tell it what you're using. So right now, as you can see, I turned it off. Push it again. I don't know. All right, hold on. System cool. Then gas heat. It says heat there, which is where we're at now, and then off. Mode. It's going to show you heat, gas heat, and off. So you don't have electric heat in this. So it gave you another option for heat. Gas is the only heat you have in this one. All right, so if you wanted to go to cool, you would hit system and it would go to cool, and then your mode, it would high, low, and auto, however you guys want to use it. All right, so these things you just kind of have to play around with them to get used to them. But the system is what you're using, whether it be the heat or the AC. The mode is how you're using it, how fast you want the fan to go on the AC, or gas heat, which is the only option you really have in this is for gas heat. I don't know if that made sense or not. I didn't explain it very well. And right up here, you've got your bathroom. You have another GFI outlet. This is going to control the outlets up here. You have another fan remote for right here in the bathroom, and then you've got your light switches. You've got a nice medicine cabinet here. It's got a pretty bright light on it too. All right, so your shower is big. You have a big shower. Let me see if I can get it out further. Oh, wrong way. Sorry. There it goes. This is glass. All right. So the only reason I bring that up is because it's glass and it will shatter. So make sure that this is locked in place for travel purposes. All right. So you don't want these doors clanking around. And again, I'll make sure that stays locked for it being delivered to you. If by chance these here come apart on you, usually the bottom of it, if it does happen, it'll happen down there. It'll start to space itself out a little bit. If that happens, all you have to do is right here on either side are some screws, and you can just tighten those down most of the time. That will fix that problem. It'll bring them back together again. This is just a magnet that's holding your doors together. In here, thing that people really like, especially if you're dry camping, is this. So this is what they call the shower miser. Right here is the valve for it. So here you see water coming out of the shower and off, and then the pitcher for recycle. That's what that is. So when you're dry camping, you usually waste a lot of water waiting for hot water in your shower. It comes out of your shower head and goes straight down into your gray tank, waiting for hot water. And when you're dry camping, water is an important thing. You got to try and conserve as much as you can. With this, you're going to be able to recycle that water. So instead of letting that water come out and go straight down to your gray tank, you can turn this valve down and turn your hot water on. As soon as you turn that on, it's going to start pulling water out of your fresh tank, or even your city water, but we'll go over that here in a minute. But it's going to bypass the shower, and it's going to just keep recycling from your fresh tank through the water heater back in. It's going to just keep going around in that circle. Once this turns gray, then you have hot water. You can then flip this up and water will come out of your shower head. I hope that was a good enough explanation. You're wasting no water. It's simply going back into the fresh tank. Now, you can use this when you're on city water too. You don't have to just use it when you're working off your fresh tank. The only thing I want to remind you is when this recycles that water, it recycles back into the fresh tank. So we get a lot of phone calls about people saying, every time I take a shower, for whatever reason, my fresh tank is filling up. It's because that water is being recycled into the fresh tank. Just keep that in mind. If you're going to use it that's where the water's going. All right. I hope that was a good enough explanation. If we had water on the system, it would make a whole lot more sense to you. So we'll shut that. And put that on there. Okay. Your toilet's a foot flush. Halfway down puts water in it. All the way flushes. Make sure you're putting your toilet treatment here. And also a gallon of water. So if you fill your bowl up twice with water, that's about a gallon. That's how much water it takes to activate your toilet treatment. And it usually takes about 30 minutes for that to be activated. Always use RV toilet paper, but if it says septic safe on it, you can use it. A lot of people use Scott's, so that would be another good option. It's not quite as expensive. For travel purposes, make sure that this sliding door is locked in place. It will come off the tracks if you don't, and it'll cause a whole lot of damage. So just make sure it's latched in place. Moving into the bedroom, we're almost done. You've got a cable hook up here if you're going to bring a TV in here, and then there's where the backer is for it, back there. Your bed is a queen bed, and you have outlets on this side and on that side, along with the phone charger, a USB and C port on that side. Both of these outlets will work off the inverter as well. Again, if you lose power, your inverter will run these outlets. They do that because a lot of people use a CPAP when they sleep, and they're considered a life-saving device. So you want to make sure these outlets work even if you lose power. The lights above the bed for reading, you do by hand. So right here is how you turn that on. There you go. That's how you turn that on and off. And then you've got your closet here. It's pretty big. And of course, down below, you have your drawers and some more for it's kind of half in the bathroom here. So there's that. You do have some storage under the bed as well. I think that's about it, you guys. I don't think there's much more to go over. This door does stay, the bedroom door, it does stay open when you open it because there's that's a magnet that's holding your door on there. So once you open it, it'll stay open. It won't close on you. So there's that. Okay. So just one more sweep around. And that's it for the inside. I have one more thing I want to talk about real quick, and then I'll be done. I know this video's been long, but I just wanted to make sure I went over everything. We're going to go over your slide out maintenance real quick. It's super easy. There's nothing hard about it. So we have to go back out here now that the slides are out. Like I said, the roof, you're going to do every 3 months. You're also going to do your slide out. So you have 2 slide outs. Both of them are on this side. So this one has what they call a Schwintek slide. Those rails right there. There's 2 on this side and 2 on the other side. There's no special grease or anything you put on these. You're just supposed to use soap and water to keep those clean. And then the rubber that's going around the slide out takes a rubber conditioner. And that's what it's called, rubber conditioner. You spray it on, it foams up. You can either just leave it or you can wipe it, either way. But make sure you're checking to make sure that that rubber is soft. So just every 3 months, at least check it. It's not going to hurt anything to just go ahead and do it every 3 months. Just put that stuff on. And then the override for that slide out is right there, that little box. There's a light that'll flash in there if something's wrong. It'll flash, it'll give a series of lights, and on the box itself, it'll tell you what that is code for, depending on the pattern of lights. And you can just read that and you'll be able to override the slide out. It's usually a 2-man job, somebody to come out here and do what needs to be done, and somebody to be inside pushing the button. This slide out is a racket pinion. The override for it was on the other side. That little hole that's in the J-wrap, that's what that was. So again, put rubber conditioner on the rubber going around it. And down here, the teeth on the tracks, one on this side and there's one on the other side as well. They take a dry lube or a lithium-based lube. silicone, stuff like that, just something dry. The last thing we want you using on this is WD-40. Okay, so leave that at home. All right, and I think that's about it. Oh, I'm so sorry, there is one more thing. I got to go around the other way. I forgot that you have a second gray tank for just the kitchen, and it's in the back. I couldn't go around on the other side because that slide was opened up and I couldn't squeeze past it. So right here, that's just for your kitchen, because you've got that rear kitchen, so the tanks are too far away from each other for them to all be in one place. So that's where that one is. All right, so that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for letting me do a video for you. If you have any questions, please give me a call. And I think that's it. All right, we'll see you later.